I recently scaled this high-ticket e-commerce brand to roughly $127,000 per month in revenue exclusively using Google Ads. That's roughly $63,000 every 2 weeks in revenue. And now, just within the past 2 weeks alone, the entire brand is up 83% bi-weekly in terms of the overall conversion value the brand has achieved. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the few specific things we did to make it happen. Now, the biggest misconception so many brand owners have is Google Ads scale takes time. And on a broad level, this is absolutely true. Don't get me wrong. Achieving great levels of scale, that to consistent scale, does take time, does take momentum when it comes to Google Ads. However, that doesn't mean that you cannot go in right now within your own Google Ads account, make a small few tweaks, and then end up scaling your brand to by 50%, by even 80% or more within a short period of time. Now, the reason why I'm looking at July 24th to August 6th, which I'm recording this video on August 6th, is because we started working with this brand on July 23rd of this year, and 24th was the first day we actually began making changes. Moving on over to the Google Ads dashboard, these results can still be seen right over here. If we look right here, there has been a very big change in terms of the overall return on ad spend, now of 84% compared to the previous period. Ad spend is up 48%. Most important of all, revenue is up 174%. Now, this, of course, does not count all of the sales, all of the revenue coming in. So that's why on the Shopify dashboard, we see a little bit more. But how did we make this happen? When I first began working with this brand, which by the way is under my Google Ads agency, Your Marketing, the very first thing we do, not only for this brand, but just for every brand we work with, is a complete initial Google Ads audit. Because what I'm trying to find is, what are the problems within the accounts? What are the potential solutions? And what's the easiest way to implement those solutions? Because Google Ads is all about simplicity. You want to forget all of the fluff that you often see within ad accounts, because it doesn't really work. It's not enough to scale your brand to the next level. So that's the first thing I did with this brand as well. And to my surprise, this brand, although it was a high ticket brand, was filled with a bunch of fluff. Now, first things first, with high ticket, what you want to understand is you need to generally spend a little bit more money than normal to get that sale, simply because their average order value can be anywhere between $300 all the way up to $1,500 in this situation. So it's not uncommon to have a cost per conversion of maybe $80, $100, even $300-$400. It's fairly common, which means now you have to spend a little bit more money, especially on cold traffic acquisition, to get those sales coming in. So the last thing you want to do is have 5-10 different campaigns running all at the same time, all with a cost per acquisition of $300, $400, $500, because not only is that inefficient, but it ends up wasting your budget way too much for minimal results, which is exactly what I saw with the initial look I got within this account. So during that time, they had a total of 9 different campaigns running. Majority were performance max campaigns, standard shopping with a little bit of search campaigns, and for some reason they had a dynamic remarketing campaign that was display traffic going on as well. Now, their general approach here, it was fairly simple. They wanted to segregate out their campaigns and based on the product collections that they had. So the top campaign was basically for all products, to test all of it. Then there was a sub collection here, a standard shopping campaign going after all products as well, to A/B test side by side with the PMAX, and then a few more sub collection based campaigns. That was literally all of the strategy to it. And although this was not a bad approach, essentially what this was causing was a lot of over distributed budgets, where instead of one campaign maybe having $500 a day budget or $1,000 a day budget, they had one campaign with $200 a day, another one with $25, another one with $80, and this was causing a lot of these products to inefficiently get tested. I mean, during this time period, this brand had a total of 3,900 active SKUs running within their ads account. These are all eligible products looking to spend this brand's money. And despite having 9 different campaigns running during that time, if we add in one small filter of clicks less than 1, what we can understand is out of that 3,900 products, basically had less than 1 click. So if we open the calculator and do a little bit of math, what we can see is out of 3,900 total products, only about 35 to 40% had actually clicks for them. So the rest of the catalog, which is roughly 63% of the product catalog, was essentially just sitting there, rotting away, not getting tested, not really getting any clicks, although it did have some impressions. Those impressions were not leading to actual users on the website, which meant these SKUs needed some kind of optimizations, which was just not happening. And as a result, the brand was heavily relying on only 30 to 40% of the overall catalog to spend money to get sales, which in the grand scheme of things is really not efficient, because if one of your SKUs costs $1,500, then there's a very good chance that it's going to take you a long time to actually get sales, and consistent sales, that too, on that high ticket product. But in addition to that, the unnecessary campaign segmentation was causing a lot of the issues in terms of lacking optimization. A lot of these campaigns were just spending money, wasting money, but nobody was actually actively going in trying to A/B test different strategies for the asset group section, or different strategies for the products themselves, such as maybe different product images, titles, so on and so forth. So the brand was really lacking in terms of actual foundational growth. And to top it off, a lot of the bidding strategies for these campaigns were basically random bidding strategies. I mean, basically all of these campaigns actually were running on some form of smart bidding based targeting, but in addition to that, for some reason they had some manual bidding campaigns running as well. And with a strategy like this, the main problem that was happening was a lot of the products ended up having way too high CPCs of $19, $16, $11, so on and so forth. And on the other hand, there were products which were not even getting any clicks. So there was a big giant mess with too much going on, too much over segmentation, and very little simplicity, which kind of brought us to the first step of work when we actually began working with this brand. And this is what I call scaling rule number 1, which is introduce efficiency. It doesn't matter if you're at 30K a month, 50K a month, 500K a month. You need to have an efficient approach. You need to have an efficient strategy to truly get to the next level. So the first thing we did is we cut out the fluff, and we basically only started focusing on the campaigns which were, number 1, spending the most money, but number 2, had actually shown the most potential. So we went from 9 different campaigns to just 4 different campaigns once we began work. And during this time, our strategy and approach was fairly simple. We wanted one major campaign here, a performance max campaign that was already spending the most money, going after and testing as many products as it could at a little bit of a higher budget. Number 2, we wanted a sub collection PMAX, going after a certain collection of products within this brand as a whole, which were doing the best, historically had done the best. And then number 3, we had the same products as we did in the first campaign and in the second campaign inside this third one. Now, you might hear this and you might think, isn't that going to introduce a lot of internal overlap, internal bidding? Well, the answer is not exactly. And this is because all of these 3 campaigns are running at different bidding strategies, and I'll get over the actual strategy very, very shortly. But in terms of efficiency, we wanted to take the congregation versus segregation approach. Again, when it's high ticket, you cannot just segregate out your products randomly, because again, even though that might seem like the right approach to give budgets properly to each sub collection, so to speak, what happens is if your AOV is very high, it's going to take a long time to really get everything tested properly, and instead you would rather have a smaller amount of campaigns spending more budget per day and getting more ad spend, more total allocation, so it can actually be tested properly. So simplification before actually introducing scale is very crucial. And the third campaign we added here was a simple branded search campaign, but it's barely running at any sort of budget. You see here, barely spent $4 during this time period. But this is kind of the general approach we do before we move on to scaling rule number 2, which before I cover that, if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together and make that happen. But scaling rule number 2 is foundational domination. Now, doesn't matter what brand or industry or niche your store is in, you need to start by working on the foundation first. And foundation doesn't just mean the product feed from the images to the titles. It also expands into things like the product attributes you have added in terms of the information in the Google Merchant Center. Do you have all of the necessary information, this product category of your product, the overall MPN numbers, GTIN numbers, all those important information, very crucial, so that your Merchant Center knows that number 1, you're a high quality brand, and number 2, it knows exactly what is your perfect customer, what is your perfect audience. But second issue that we kind of solved was GMC violations. A lot of these products, when we first initially started work, had a lot of policy violations. I mean, a lot of them simply had the wrong image styles, they had the text on the images, some were horizontal images, some were vertical images, and there was just a big mess in terms of the product feed, including the titles, which were unoptimized. So we had to go in, do proper keyword research, do competitor research to understand what majority of the competitors competitors have in terms of product images and whatnot. And because this is a high-ticket brand and sells very boring everyday products, there was not a lot of, so to speak, strategy in terms of the competition and what they were doing with the images and everything. So it was actually fairly easy to begin standing out for the competition and really have CTRs that were well above 1%. So if you see right here, just improving the product images, A/B testing, flipping them, adding a real lifestyle background versus a plain white background allowed us to really bump up the CTRs and bring down the CPCs from $15, $16 to now $3, $4, which is much more manageable. Now, not everything is, of course, at that manageable rates. However, things are improving as we continue to work. But really choosing a sort of a unified approach, even for the product images, either going with vertical-based images or horizontal, and unifying the entire brand, not only gave the algorithm direct information that, hey, we are a real brand and we sell real products and care about our customers, but number two, a lot of our customers began to notice these changes within our product images and titles and everything, and they noticed the unified approach, which now allowed us to scale this brand at a much easier pace with much better stats, which ultimately brought us to scaling rule number 3, which is the triple power approach. Now, earlier I mentioned all these 3 PMXs have essentially the same products in them, and the only difference is the actual target ROAS values. Campaign number 1, which is the all products testing campaign, actually has the lowest target ROAS restriction of 480%. The second campaign, which is the scaling campaign for a sub collection of products, has a little bit of a higher ROI target of 500%. And this third one, this feed only campaign, which again has the same product as the first campaign, and the second one has a ROAS target of 600%. So what this means is, even though all the products inside these 3 campaigns are the exact same, all 3 of them are getting proper budget allocation because they're targeting completely different pockets of the audience. You want to think of audience targeting with Google as a whole massive fishing pond, basically. And within that fishing pond, on the top left corner, you might have certain fish grouped together. On the top right corner, there might be a completely different set of fish grouped together, working together and just running around together. And at the very bottom of the pond, you might have a third group of fish who are very different from the top left and the top right fish, but they are essentially in the same pond, in the same pool, and they're trying to fight for the scraps. They're trying to find the food, essentially. And your ads come in as the food, and it's targeting different pockets of this pond in different ways. That's what essentially having different bidding targets does. And that's why the top campaign has a 10x ROI, second campaign has a 7x, and the third one almost is a 8x ROI. And they're very different from each other, even in the sense of CTRs and CPCs. So for instance, if we look, the top one has a CPC of $1.12, second one has $1.26, third one is $1.13, and then the CTRs are also different. So this is what I now call the powerful trio approach, and it's working like a charm for a lot of the brands which we are handling under my agency or marketing. But it's beneficial extremely because now, instead of your product going inside that Google Ads auction one time, it has 3 entryways. So if it fails to win an auction at a 480% target ROAS, it can now enter that auction again at a 500% ROAS. If it fails at that percentage, now it enters at a 600%, targeting a completely different audience. And that's purely why this campaign strategy from the 24th now to the 5th has been so beneficial for this brand in total. And now we're also winning more auctions. I mean, if we look at the overall search impression share, we are up 89% in terms of impression share. This is because in winning more auctions, we're now showing our ads to more eyeballs in the market. And that is essentially what is allowing the brand to now scale to $63,000 in just the 2 weeks that we have been working with this brand. But again, if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads. Go on to my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together and make that happen.